Hi, this is Hans and Franz again, and we're going to start our leak test or inspection for the mechanical. And the first thing we do is check the double nuts and the clips. The clips are called, they are really strip fasteners. And this is what we do. We make sure that these clips are pushed in, and here we have double nuts, and we need to touch all of them so we know that they're on, you know. Every once in a while I do a spot check and make sure that they are actually tight, the bottom one, and that one is good. So we can keep on going here. So I'll check that these things are straight in as possible. If they're not, we have to adjust them. Another thing that we look for here is that this rubber here is on. Sometimes it's really hard to see it, but it's usually always on. You can see if this rubber is gone somewhere, that this thing actually, this is a rubber pad here, and this clip is made to fit that. If it's not there, there will be a void underneath. And a good way of seeing here too, on this side, if this space here is big, you know you're not right. But I will accept if this one is at least half or over. It should be over half. If it's too far back there, we have to adjust the whole aerator so it fits well. But this happens quite often, you know. They actually forget to fasten it, or they don't do enough. So that's an easy fix here, you know. But sometimes you have to loosen here, slide the whole thing over if that oval hole is not enough to make up the difference. So we had about maybe 20 of these in this basin. So the crew fixed it yesterday. We did it a little bit backwards. Always check the double nuts and also see that they are tight enough. That's why I like this little adjustable wrench. Not only can I take it to the fly TSA, because it's not even 6 inches long, but I can adjust it actually quite large. So here, what we do when we find something wrong, you see this nut here? This happens quite often, that they are not tightened. So my job is then to have my roll of tape and tie it off. And see if we have any damaged membranes. And also check the elevation of the installation here. As you know, we need to be within plus minus quarter of an inch. Sometimes we stretch this to plus minus 3/8 of an inch, but I don't tell anybody. So we're trying to do it well. So we're going to get some water in here and check the membranes for damages. Thank you very much. So Hans and Franz are back, and now we have filled up water a little bit over the aerators, so we're going to check the elevation, and we have just a little air on so we can see if there are any damaged aerators. So a little pink tape here on the side, not on the membrane. That's about 1 3/8 inches. So we already did this yesterday. We did maybe 15 takes. So I'll show you. I go randomly everywhere. Inch and 3/8. Inch and a half. Inch and 3/8. So we know this basin is good because we did it yesterday. I'm going to show you over here. We have one broken membrane right over here. You see here? Right there. We have a puncture, and as you see, all the air in this aerator disappears out there. So this air, we're going to replace this one. And we're going to show you how that is done. First, of course, we have to turn the air off. Otherwise, this effluent water will spray in my face. Okay, now we turn the air off. And after a while, we won't know which one is broken unless we mark it with a tape. And as you see, we also wrote on this one a little earlier that it has a hole in it. And you see it's going to keep on leaking for a while, so we have a few moments. So now what I need to do is to loosen all this up the strip fasteners and slide it back, because this one is about 1.25 inches in there, so you cannot just disconnect this and replace it. So I'm going to do that. Whether you want to film that or not, I don't know, but that's why we have very little water in here, so we can do these things. So we're going to replace this aerator. So we loosen up these clips here again. So this thing now would slide backwards. Of course. And as you see, that's why we turn the air off, because that would blow in your face if you don't have released it. If this is underneath dirty water, we need to be 2 guys, and this one will be held up so we don't get sewer in here, because this will be changed at one time with sewer in here. So what we do, we're going to remove this thing, this elbow, and put that on the new one. As you see here, we have the Teflon. So this one is marked, it's going to be stored. It can be fixed with a glue patch. It's just not what we do with a brand new installation. So now we have the new aerator laying here, and we're putting on Teflon tape. We already have 10 to 12 turns on it, so I'm going to give it a few more, just to make sure. And as you see, that's the way to do it, so you cannot spin it like this, because after you do 1,000, it makes a big difference. And here is the elbow, and this can be done somewhere else when you do all of them, preferably on the crate. And of course, here we worry about cross-threading, but anybody knows that you go backwards a little bit, and then what you want to do here, you want to hand tighten this. You don't want to bottom out. Very, very important, because then you don't have enough Teflon. So I'm stopping right there. It's nice and tight. So this one is ready to be installed. And always put it on the edge when you carry or handle it. It makes it a lot easier. Now, come closer please. Always make sure that the O-ring is in the right position here. Because this is where we leak otherwise, and then you have to do the same procedure, slide it apart, loosen it up. You cannot do it just, and as you see, this one needs to come right in there. And you kind of feel when this passes the O-ring. You see that? That's perfect. And then this has a little bend to it, so you play with it and start this in there. So this will engage. Now here in this situation, needs only hand tightening, as you know. Some guys like to put the wrench on here and just tie it so hard, but we can always do that later in case we have a leak. So I'm not going to do that. So we're going to turn a little bit of air on now, please. We're not even going to, we can slide this over, but we're not going to fasten it. And just hold it down, see if this one has been installed correctly, and also if it's in a good shape. So now we can fasten this. This is good. And then fill more air and go above all these compression fittings. So we see if all the O-rings and the nipples are good. And then we raise it above the header pipe and do the clamps and the band couplings. Thank you. So now we filled up the water. We're not in the same basin. We're in the basin number 2 with a lot more air in it. And now we can check the end caps. So we need to tighten them up. protect all of these compression fittings all the way along here. Put that below the water. And we know that they fixed about 12 of them yesterday, a dozen in each basin. But the procedure is slide it out, put the O-ring back, and then put it back in. That always seems to be the problem. And I have something here that I want to show you. These are end pieces for the aerator right here. And the contractor always wonders, are they important? And they are not important. It's just for keeping the silicone in when you put it in, and for transportation protection. So if these float around, don't worry about it. Just pick them up and discard it. So this leak test is pretty much finished because we ran with 3 feet overnight. You know, we had no problem. We had no broken areas. So that's pretty much complete this part. Turn over here, please. We're going to do that last band coupling on that drop there. This one and make sure this one doesn't leak. So that's something that the contractor can do by himself, but we're going to keep on filling up. Thank you very much.